Hi there, good morning. I am Sarah, and today we are talking about energy vampires. Those people who come and just literally suck you dry and leave you feeling all flustered and drained and like a little bit confused. Like, what just happened? I was doing fine, and now I feel out of balance. And we're gonna talk about how to identify them, how to kind of see them coming, what to do to protect your energy, and what not to do. Because if you're not in the right place and you're in a place of fear, you could actually make things worse and open up yourself more than you usually would. So, this is going to be a very empowering and enlightening talk. I am Sarah. I am a traditional Usui Reiki master teacher, a holistic life coach, and a yoga teacher. I have been practicing for 20 years. I have been teaching for 10. I go live inside of this group on Tuesday mornings and outside on my business page on Wednesday mornings. If you had been following me for a while, I was going live on Thursdays, but that has actually is not an option for me because my schedule has changed. So now I'm live twice a week inside of this group on Tuesday mornings and outside on my business page on Wednesdays. So let's go ahead and get started. Before I do, remember the yoga teacher training is now open. It starts March 16. Registration is now open. And I'm doing a free 5-day challenge on January 25th to the 29th, plus a little 1-day workshop on Saturday about how to find what your soul is really calling for and how to manifest it quickly and effortlessly. Okay, so let's jump in. So I would like to kind of classify these energy vampires into 4 categories. There's those people who try and control you, who are constantly criticizing everything that you do and telling you where to go and trying to manage your schedule and tell you where to be and calling you and checking on you. That's actually a form of codependency, and they do it in an effort to get energy from you, whether you comply or resist. The act of trying to control someone is an act of trying to get energy from them. Okay? Then you have the complainers, the people at work who are constantly coming, or the people at home who are constantly coming and complaining without a productive lesson behind it. They just complain to complain and to vent that negative energy that they're carrying within. Now, anybody who's complaining is coming from a place of not taking responsibility for their actions and their choices. And now they're coming to you and they are venting their frustration, they're venting whatever it is that's upsetting them, but they're not in a place of doing a little introspection to see what can I do about it. And with those people, you actually could maybe guide them if they are open enough to say, okay, I understand how you feel. I understand why this upsets you. What can you do about it? What do you think you could do? How can you proactively change the situation? And if they're willing to do that, then you might be able to help them. Okay, sometimes by just listening, sometimes by just being present. Then you have the people who bicker with you, who it doesn't matter what, they're naysayers. It doesn't matter what you say, the answer is no. You want to go there? No. You want to do this? No. You want to, and then they just argue over whatever it is. They'll argue over politics. They'll argue over religion. They'll pick a fight with you for the sake of picking a fight with you. And you have to see what is it about you that also wants to fight with them, because I'm sure you don't like it and you feel drained, but there must be a part of you that's plugging into the dysfunction, and a part of you, it's usually ego. It's you trying to assert yourself and be right and feel like you are better than them because you somehow know better than them. Okay? And that always comes back to you. Everything always begins and ends with you. So what is it about you that has the need to be so right about X, Y, and Z? takes two to bicker, just like it takes two to tango. So if they're coming to you, picking a fight and bickering with you, you must in some way be open to having that negative conversation. And the fourth category is victims. People who play victims and come to you looking for help and pretending to be helpless and pretending that they are victims to people, places, or things. And they're asking for help, they're asking to borrow money, they're asking for your time, they're asking for your attention, they're asking for your pity, they're asking for, but again, they're not willing to take responsibility for where they are and what got them into that situation in the first place. Okay, so what do you do? What do you do with these energy vampires? The first thing is you need to set boundaries, of course, and you need to, from a truthful place, not out of aversion or rejection or frustration or fear, say, I don't speak truthfully, and don't make it about them. Make it about you. So if someone is trying to control you, you don't say, don't tell me what to do, I can do whatever it is that I want, and then you fight back and you rebel. That's not helpful. That's not productive. But if you say, I understand that's what you want me to do right now, and you acknowledge their feelings, and then you say, but at this point, this is what serves me best, and in order to honor my spirit, and in order to be true to myself, this is what I need to do right now. So it isn't about you. You're not rebelling. You're not fighting back. You are just asking for them to respect the boundary out of love and respect for yourself. It's not personal, because you have to realize what they're doing is not being done to you. They're just doing what they're doing. It's not, you just happen to be the one that's in front of them and open to be, for them to do it too. Okay? If someone is complaining, what I like to say is, be honest and say, because honestly, if someone is complaining to you, chances are you're a complainer too. So if someone comes to you with their complaints, one of the things that you could say is just very honest and say, I hear you, I understand, but we really can't do much about the situation right now, and I am working on not complaining, so I'm just not going to participate in this conversation because I'm making a conscious effort to not complain, because there's nothing that I can do about it, and then it's a waste of my energy. And they'll be like, what just happened? So you cut the channel, but you don't criticize them. You don't say to them, I see you complaining. I don't want that negative energy right now. I don't want to participate in the complaining because I'm like better than that, right? That comes from an egotistic place. That's not going to be helpful. Somebody comes to bicker with you and they're picking a fight. They're saying yes. They're saying no just because you said yes. Let it go. So what? So what if they... And they'll actually be very uncomfortable. If they come and pick a fight with you over whether it's personal or whether they're projecting it on external politics, religion, or whatever, and you don't plug in, and you just let them be right. Let them think that they're right. What's really the harm in that at the end of the day? If they don't want to see, they don't want to see. And if you feel really strongly about fighting back and bickering back and arguing and being right and whatever, then what is it about you that has that need? And how do we fix that? And how do you get to the root cause of whatever it is that is causing you to plug into this bickering? And last but not least, if someone comes to you asking for unhealthy help, right? So there's healthy help, which I give all day, every day to all of my clients and students, because they're taking responsibility for what they want to experience. And so I give them guidance and energy and encouragement and everything to empower them. And then there's people who come to you and they just want it, but they don't want to take responsibility and they don't want to provide an exchange. They just want to take, 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 take. In that case, you could just, again, honesty is the best policy. So if someone comes to you with the same problem again and again, again and again, feeling like a victim over this, that, or the other thing, and they're not really taking responsibility to do anything about it, you can simply point that out to them in the most gentle way. And from a neutral place, say, you know, I've noticed that you come to me with this complaint, and I've noticed that, you know, you could take this action or that action, but for whatever reason you choose not to. And if I participate in this conversation and I continue to validate your perception that you're helpless, then I'm actually not helping. So I want you to do what we talked about, because chances are you've probably given them advice already. They're just not doing it, and they keep coming to you again and again. So you explain that to them and you say, okay, until you do the things that I suggested that you do, I really don't want to participate in these conversations anymore, because they're not healthy for you and they're not healthy for me. And you just set your boundaries. So there's 3 things that you have to do to not get sucked in. Number 1 is have no fear, no aversion, no judgment, no ego, feeling better than these other people. Because they're just where they are. If anything, they need compassion, not judgment. Staying open. So not closing down. You know, a lot of times they'll tell you, cross your arms or cross your legs and don't let people, like, listen, our energy fields go 6 feet in one direction, 6 feet in the other directions. You can cross your arms all you want, and that might give you a temporary sense of safety, but at the end of the day, if you don't fix it with right speech and saying what you need to do, they're still gonna drain your energy. So stay open. Don't go into a place of fear. Instead, go into a place of compassion and understanding, but also out of love and respect for yourself, set the boundaries that you need to set. So that is my short chat for today in regards to how to protect your energy. It's, you know, there's a lot of things that you could do. You could wear stones, you could create sacred space, you could smudge, you could cut cords, you could do a lot of things. But at the end of the day, it's about your actions, your words, your thoughts, and how you deal with these people from a neutral place, and how you set boundaries for yourself. The truth of the matter is, if there wasn't anything about you that's open to plug in, then they wouldn't come to you. They just wouldn't, because you wouldn't be open to it. So if you are feeling like you're constantly surrounded by people who are draining your energy, complaining, trying to control you, bickering with you, coming to you for help when they're not asking, when they're not taking responsibility, there's something about you that's open for that to happen. And so that's what you need to be working on. And that's kind of what I do with my students all the time. You have no idea how many times they'll come to me with a situation like that. And when we peel away the layers, it's got nothing to do with the other person. It's about them and what it is about them. And when they close that loop and they close that door, then they no longer attract that kind of people. So that's my little bit of wisdom for today. I'm a little bit under the weather today for whatever reason. I think I just didn't get enough sleep, so I'm feeling a little sleepy and tired. So I'll cut this short for today, and don't forget to sign up for the 5-day challenge. That's free, January 25th through the 29th. Then on the 30th, we're doing that workshop, What is Your Soul Really Calling For? And again, yoga teacher training is now, registration's now open. It starts March 16. It's going to be absolutely amazing. Thank you so much for watching. Have a wonderful day. Namaste.